Many calling in because we're talking boxing following Usyk beating Tyson Fury in Riyadh on Saturday night. But now that Fury has lost again, what next for him and what next for AJ? Is that the fight you want to see? Michael's a Manchester United fan. Maybe he doesn't want to talk about that, but maybe he'll talk about Fury AJ. Do you want to see it, Michael? Good morning.
Good morning, boys. How are you?
Good, thank you, mate. Good. What was your take on events in Riyadh on Saturday night?
Well, I was actually quite shocked when Wayne came in because I was looking at it because obviously when he went to Wilder 2, he was only 273 pounds.
Yeah.
And then for this fight, he put a lot more weight on. And I was worried. I thought, I don't know, he could go about 5-6 rounds. And then I thought, I thought he won it, you know. I actually really believed he won it. I think he got robbed because, I mean, the judges scoring at the end. I went, what match were they judging?
No, well, the people around me and most of the people, I think, in the arena thought it was Usyk. But what do you want to see next, Michael? Do you want to see Fury fight AJ at some stage in 2025?
I don't know, because I think for Tyson, it'd just be an easy knockout. It'd just be an easy knockout. AJ is not as good as he once was. I think he wants Usyk free.
Oh, well, I don't think he's getting any chance of that because he's losing 2-0 on that one at the moment. Thanks for the call. Mohammed is a big boxing fan. Mohammed, good morning to you. Are you interested in Fury going in with AJ?
No, thanks. I think that ship sailed time ago because they both were out of their prime at the moment. Joshua's punch resistance gone. Tyson Fury looks like he's gone old overnight. On Saturday, he put on too much weight. If he was going to win on Saturday, he would have went out all guns blazing within the 6 rounds. Everybody knows Usyk is better down the stretch as well. And we've got to admit that Usyk exposed our current heavyweights, that majority of our heavyweights are overhyped by the media. They are just, I don't believe they're as good as they say they are. Larry Holmes said this a few years ago, that a lot of heavyweights now are just big men with no technical skills.
Well, I mean, Mohammed's got a point, Simon. Usyk's beaten everyone that's been put in front of him.
Yeah, and I think the weight thing is a bit of a red herring because Tyson stood on the scales in all his clothes with a very heavy leather jacket and probably was about 3 or 4 kilos heavier than he actually was. And for whatever reason, he wanted to create an image that he was 19, 20 pounds heavier than the last fight. I think Fury has been a phenomenal fighter. I mean, he beat Vladimir Klitschko in Klitschko's pomp, not when Klitschko was over the hill when Anthony Joshua beat him, with all due respect to AJ. And he beat Deontay Wilder in all 3 fights. And Wilder, despite the fact he was technically inept.
Simon, Wilder was just had the right hook. He wasn't anything that was, exceptional. Everybody knew that Wilder, you just have to avoid his right hand. And Fury did expose that.
Knowing what you have to do and being able to do it is 2 different things, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree with that. But Fury, I think we've overhyped him over the last few years as this generational talent. And cruiserweight that he kept on calling a rabbit came out and just exposed him.
Mohammed, before you go, do you think it's the end for Tyson? Do you think we'll see him again?
I think Tyson's made a lot of money. He's got a big family. I think he should just sail off into the sunset and just relax.
Okay, Mohammed, listen, thanks for your call and thanks for your points that you made. Keith is a big Arsenal fan. Keith, would you like an early Christmas present? Would you like to speak to Arsenal Invincible Martin Keown?
Morning, Keith.
Well, I have met Martin, and of course he's a legend of the greatest football club in the world. So that's beside the point. Let's beside the point. Let's talk about a boxing. I was doing the watch along for Seconds Out on Saturday, and I was doing it with Jordan Thompson, who you probably know. I was the only person on the panel who had Usyk 2 points ahead. I scored it 117, 115. The other 2 scored it for Fury. So it's all subjective. So everyone's saying, oh, should Fury walk away? This was a close fight. Let's not poo-poo Fury too much. It was a close fight. I scored it with Usyk. The others scored it for Fury, and many did. So to start trying to sell the battle of the also-rans, because with all due respect, Anthony Joshua is a busted flush. I think Fury is still a top heavyweight. And do I really want to see Joshua against Fury? I think that would be quite a close one because I don't think Fury has concussive punching power, whereas Joshua does. Usyk is a scorer, and not a puncher, and that's why he won on Saturday night. And in my opinion, it was his work to the body that was the most, for me, the most important aspect of him winning the fight. His body connection and clinical punching to Fury's body was what I thought was the difference. But do I want to see a battle of the auto runs? Not really. I'm not one of these mugs who watches the Misfits and all that rubbish. I want to see top level. In actual fact, I actually think a Fury-Usyk number 3 would be better. And Fury's
I'd like to see. Keith, wouldn't you like to see Fury versus Dubois? That's what I'd quite like to see.
Yeah. Well, would I? Why does Dubois need to face Fury? Dubois needs to face Parker first. That is a tough fight, a very tough fight for him. I didn't like the fact that he jumped in the ring with Usyk's rematch. Focus on Parker. He's no slouch. That's the first thing. But Dubois-Usyk rematch. There's a lot of debate about whether Usyk really took a low blow. Don Charles, who's a friend of mine, says no, it wasn't a low blow. I think that if he beats Parker, that's the fight we've got to see.
Keith, finally, you know your stuff, mate. Now, we bow to your knowledge. Usyk, in a sentence or two, where is his standing today?
Well, his standing, I mean, how can you argue with a guy who's got an unbelievable amateur record, undisputed cruiserweight champion, undisputed... In actual fact, the fight I want to see, believe it or not, if he's going to carry on, is to back down at cruiserweight. I'd love to see him take on Jai Opetaia. I think that would be the fight I'd like to see for him.
God. Opetaia was wandering around in the Kingdom Arena on Saturday night, putting the fear of God in everybody. Amazing. Keith, thanks for your points. Brian will even it up from a North London basis. Brian's a Tottenham fan, but he's got a view in boxing as well. Do you want to see AJ against Fury in 2025, Brian?
Hello?
Hello, Brian.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I was just trying to put some shoes on my little one.
Oh, no problem. Are they on the little one?
No, they're not. One's on, and now it's gone again.
All right, put the other one on. We'll wait.
No, it's fine. It's fine. No, I just wanted to just quickly make a point. First of all, guys, Merry Christmas. And,
Merry Christmas, Brian.
I think that I'm just trying to be in the real world with probably a lot of the most people in this world that, you know, they both earn so much money, and you know the average guy, you know, let's say they earn 25 to 40,000 a year. These guys got 100 million pounds. It can't be about the money anymore. I reckon AJ should just fight Fury. Done, because that's what most people want to see, and then everyone just sails off into the sunset. Done.
In an ideal world, I mean, Simon, you said earlier, and I like Brian's the point Brian has made, but you said earlier, no, AJ Fury doesn't interest you. Not particularly.
No, I'm not motivated by it. I can understand the interest, and I can understand why people want to watch it. I think two fighters now on the other side of the argument in terms of where they are at the high end of boxing. Yeah, I think people can make the argument that there was a very competitive fight against Usyk, but he lost. And Fury, to me, is not getting better. So a Fury-Joshua fight is just really about bragging rights and about finances. Now, Frank and Eddie will want to make that fight, whether Turki Al-Sheikh sees it as an international fight. It'll be a domestic fight. You made the point earlier on. Kell Brook versus Amir Khan. Fantastic. They ain't going to sell worldwide. I don't know whether Joshua versus Fury is going to sell worldwide because the Americans don't think much of the British heavyweights anyway. As a matter of course, they've been forced to eat it and deal with it because they haven't delivered a heavyweight of their own for some period of time. Yeah. And of course, we've gone over there. When AJ went over to America, he got knocked on his backside by Andy Ruiz, didn't he? So, of course, the Americans look at that fight and look at Joshua in a certain way. You know, I look at it and just say, if people want it, then fine. But for me, I'm looking now going, what's next? Okay, Dubois fighting Parker. That's a live one. What's happening with a kid? Moses Atuma. He's coming up. This is a real fighter. What's going to happen with him? Where's Usyk going to go next? Why would Usyk need to fight anymore? He's done the lot. He's beaten everybody. Why does he need to give Daniel Dubois a second opportunity? You know, whatever people think about it, the result was Usyk won the fight.
And Simon, great point. Just before we leave boxing, Martin, Moses Atuma. Yeah. What a performance. He's 20 this month.
He's a special kid.
I mean, he absolutely wowed the place out there on Saturday night.
Special kid. Yeah,
incredible.
You know, to knock out Dempsey McKean in the manner that he did, you know, is an indication of where he's going. They've still got to handle him, still got to manage him, they've got to keep on bringing him up. But Frank Warren does that brilliantly. He matches fighters brilliantly. You know, of course, Frank's now had complete control of the heavyweight division, and obviously Tyson Fury now losing. He loses some of the control, but he's got the next generation of fighter in Moses Atuma.
Sure. Johnny Fisher was awarded a split points win over Dave Allen on Saturday night in Riyadh.
Robbery.
And there were gasps when that announcement came about. Dave Allen couldn't believe it. Johnny Fisher wasn't the best of shape. Afterwards, he got in touch with producer Ed yesterday morning. I'm glad I hear, Johnny, you're feeling a bit better, even although you got the nod. But by God, it's a tough old sport, that. Jeez, the two of them clobbered the living daylights out of each other. Johnny, we send you our best this Monday morning.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.